And here we go.
What is up, everybody? My name is Mike from the Super Wheeler Bros, and today we have a review for the Tom Cruise action star Jack Reacher Never Go Back. Now this one here is going to be a spoiler-free review. It hasn't come out on Blu-ray just yet, so we're definitely going to get into some specific things, but we're going to leave everything about as vague as I possibly can so that we don't have any spoilers, so that you guys can have a fresh experience when you do get to see the movie, whether it's at a theater or when it comes out on Blu-ray here in a couple of weeks on January 31st. So let's get into it. Jack Reacher Never Go Back, the sequel to 2012's Jack Reacher, once again stars Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise in this movie is definitely the driving force, as it is an intense performance, but I can understand why Rotten Tomatoes and aggregates all across the internet, including IMDb, kind of scored this movie, from audience side, not so great, and critics alike. I enjoyed it myself. I did. Mainly because I am a fan of the first movie, which also was kind of mixed on audience reaction. But I think that Tom Cruise's intense performance can also kind of be viewed as wooden. Definitely looks stiff, looks like he's bored. He doesn't bring a lot of emotion to Jack Reacher, and as someone who really never read the Jack Reacher novels, which the movies are based on, I don't really have much to go off of as far as that goes. All I can tell you is how well they were done as movies. The first one was directed by Christopher McQuarrie, who ended up doing Mission Impossible Rogue Nation with Tom Cruise. This one was directed by veteran filmmaker Edward Zwick, who hasn't worked with Tom Cruise since the classic The Last Samurai. Now, given the fact that Edward Zwick is really adept at making both action films and drama, you would think that it could balance out very well. There are some big inconsistencies as far as that goes. Some of it has to do with Tom Cruise's performance. While being intense, it's very laconic. It's very drowsy, if you ask me. At least in the fight scenes. In scenes where he's interacting with Cobie Smulders, who plays Major Turner, of which whom her story is the one that really kicks off the movie, and the little girl who he believes could be his daughter, Danica Yarosh, who plays Samantha. Those are the only times where he seems to be a little bit more enthused about the project. And it does drag it down a little bit to where it's not quite as good as the first one. And while it's still enjoyable, there is still some effective chase sequences, there still is some effective fight sequences, and Tom Cruise in his 50s, still doing all his own stunts, it's mind-boggling to me, and I respect the man, whether it's a Mission Impossible movie, or a Jack Reacher movie, or Edge of Tomorrow, or anything else he does. The man just makes entertaining movies. He does. And I can see where it went wrong with some people, but to me, the man just makes fun movies. And maybe, I don't know, maybe in my getting older, I feel maybe I've gotten a little softer on movies. I used to be just so angry and not enjoying movies as much, and maybe it's because I avoid crap movies as much as I can, which is probably why I only just now watched The Purge election year. In Jack Reacher Never Go Back, it's the ladies that make this thing go. Cobie Smulders also does all of her own stunts, all of her own fight choreography, and she did an awesome job. She was intense, she was vulnerable, she kind of played the feminist role as well very, very expertly in making sure that she's just as capable as her male counterpart in Tom Cruise. And the young girl playing Samantha, I thought that while she started off really kind of grating on the nerves, she did a great job. And she's able to kind of tug at your heartstrings a little bit and kind of make the whole journey more worth it by the end of the film. And I think the biggest attraction, other than some of the shoehorned plot points and characters that all of a sudden show up and are supposed to be major important players, like Robert Knepper, who plays General Harkness, it's the main bad guy. The main bad guy. What a wiener. He was such a wiener. They're supposed to make it out like he's as tough as Jack Reacher and that he's a real threat to take them out, and he's just a wiener. I don't know if it was the actor portraying him, the way it was written. I really don't know, but it plays it out like he's always a step ahead of Jack Reacher and that he's smarter and blah 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 bitty blah. That's where the movie gets knocked down a tick or two and doesn't reach the heights of the first Jack Reacher. I think that is the main detraction for me from this movie. There's a couple cool little Easter eggs in there for fans of the first movie that you can check out. If you want to know what those are, just go hit up IMDb's trivia page if you want to check out a couple of the Easter eggs. I don't want to spoil it for you. But as a direct sequel to Jack Reacher in 2012, not so much in the books. I believe this one was based on the 14th novel, whereas the original Jack Reacher was based on the 9th. So not exactly a direct sequel in chronology when it comes to the books, but for the screen, despite some of those flaws that I told you about, I did enjoy myself for the most part. There's definitely some inconsistencies with the plot and just a really poor villain. Maybe Tom Cruise not being as energetic as he usually is, and maybe that's just the Jack Reacher role. He was pretty dour in the first movie as well. Tom Cruise is one of my favorite actors, and he rarely does things that I don't like. So maybe that plays a little bit of a factor in my score here, but if I have to score it, I'm going to give it a 7. 7 out of 10. For those of you who have already seen Jack Reacher, and those of you who will see it here in a couple weeks when it comes out on Blu-ray or for digital download, which it will probably be available even sooner than that, let me know what you thought of the movie in the comments below. Am I crazy for liking this movie? Do you agree with the majority of folks out there as far as critics go? Or did you enjoy it as much as I did? If you did enjoy this review, or just my smiling face, go ahead and give us a like. It really helps us out. And if you did enjoy this video and you want to see more like it in the future, you can click right here and subscribe. And as always, have yourselves a super week, people.